Hello, this is Samsai again, and welcome back to The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. So, last time we wrapped up the quest to gather the guild dues, and that means that now I have been told to deal with a necromancer, which does seem like a huge, leap in difficulty from the previous quest, where we basically were gathering guild dues, which turned out to be a long quest though. And now we're going to kill a necromancer. So, she apparently lives in Margon. And I actually don't exactly remember where Margon is. I can check my map probably, but I don't think my map has this information. I should probably ask about Margon, honestly. Yeah, let's go and ask.
Welcome, friend. You're nearly a legend around here. Please talk.
Well, that's nice to hear. Anyway, where is this Margon? Because I have no idea where Margon actually is. Lives in Margon. She's the one who has been practicing necromancy, but where is Margon? I honestly don't know where Margon is. Well, then that's just about Punabi, which is just one of the houses in the middle of nowhere. So I guess I need to now figure out where Margon is. I remember that being in the... That is definitely in the sort of wilderness, I think. Because that's Bomora, then we have Seydanin, we have Vivek, Ebonheart. That's Marandus. I believe we went to Marandus at some point, but I don't think that's something that we have on our quests. We can always just check what quests we have. Yeah, we have this Magus Guild quest. We have the ceramic bowl quest. I don't think we actually ever did this. I believe Ajira just decided to skip out on that entirely. And then we have, I'm just going to quickly check. This is one of the expansion quests. We're not going to go there because that would require me to actually go to Mournhold, I believe. Yes, Mournhold. And that's on the mainland Morrowind. So we're not going to go there, at least not yet. We have Vadanius Nusius. And that's just, I believe this is one of the... Yeah, this is from Seydanin. It's just that this guy doesn't seem happy. And I don't really understand how that's a quest, but sure. Do we actually have anything about Margon? No, that's just... it's good that we have a topic called mushrooms here. Anyway, I suppose this is something we should do. But first we need to figure out where Margon is. And one thing I'm going to do before we do anything is I'm going to actually stock up on stuff. Because currently, while we have a fair amount of random potions and whatnot, I don't exactly have any restore magicka potions. So we're going to have to get some of those. And I also think we are sort of out of restore health too. Well, restore health isn't exactly... Well, it's quite important. It's just like restore magicka is.
Do you want something?
No, I don't. I don't need... Everyone is so freaking... Okay. Let's see your... stock. Maybe you will have something for me. Cure common disease, cure paralyzation, cure poison. All useful stuff, but not exactly what I need right now. Restore fatigue, I can make my own potions. Restore agility, potion of invisibility, night eye, potion of reflection. Restore luck, lightning shield, fortify magicka, fortify health. And none of this is actually what I need. You don't have what I want. I'm sorry. But I might sell you, actually, oh, seller gold is actually 800, so I can get some additional gold out of you. So I'm going to sell you all of the spoiled ones, I think, because I don't really need those. Because spoiled has negative effects, and I don't want negative effects, funnily enough. There are also some mage rings, ring of wounds, cruel shard balls rings. These don't actually, well, they weigh a little bit. At least, what is this? Belt of Northern Knock Knock. Okay, interesting. Not exactly what I might want though. But I did have some stuff here that I wanted to sell. Some stuff that I didn't exactly need. It has to be somewhere around here, because I remember having picked up some potions or something that I didn't exactly want to use. Well, here's Flynn. Flynn is one of those things. Then we have exclusive potions. I definitely want to have the blight diseases. The blight disease curing things. I don't want to miss those, because it's possible that we might get blighted, particularly if we're traveling in the middle of the wasteland. Well, I guess you're going to have to just, you're going to have to take that. I currently don't really have anything else at hand, I think. I don't really need the probe, do I? And then I have a bunch of keys that are just lying around. You don't accept these, do you? Yeah. So take that stuff, and I guess I'm going to have to just go and see the general trader, because I don't think the rest of these guys sell any potions. At least I don't think so. What do you sell? You don't even sell anything, you're just spell trader. What do you sell?
I see you. Hello.
Some more spells. Yeah, the rest of these guys seem to be just spell trading people. You seem to parse here. Oh, you actually have some nice potions here. And these are actually, yeah, this is what I need. These are the sort of generic things. I'm definitely going to buy some quality restore health potions. And I think some standard 2... do you have any... You must have some. Yeah, these are the restore well, here's at least one restore magicka. A lot of cure paralyzation. Cure paralyzation is actually fairly useful, but I don't think I'd want to pick those up right now. I'd rather avoid anything that paralyzes me. There are some smaller creatures that actually do paralyze you. That's bargain. There's one cheap one. I mean, I'm going to pick that up because it doesn't seem like you have a lot of the quality restore or standard restore stuff for magicka, which is weird because this is a mage's guild, but sure. And meanwhile, do I want to give you something? I mean, I could probably give you a bunch of restore fatigue potions, because I can make these easily myself. These ones are actually lighter than these ones. I think it slightly matters what ingredients you use. Some of these are apparently a little bit lighter than others, which does make sense, because if you make the same thing from different ingredients, it's going to end up it's going to end up weighing a different amount. Yeah, that's a fair trade. Do you have anything to say about necromancy? So yeah, necromancy is apparently in the Empire a legitimate discipline, but not in Morrowind. I don't actually remember that. I just wanted to do some trade and talk with you, nothing else. That's actually weird, because I remember necromancy being an illegal discipline in all of the Empire. Maybe this is earlier times though, so who knows. Is there actually anything here that... Maybe I'm going to make some potions while I'm here. Restore fatigue. Is there anything else that is restore fatigue? There's some saltress. So I'm going to just trade my... Oh, here's my moon sugar. And some more saltress. And I talked about leaving my mortar and pestle at home, because obviously I'm going to have to carry that, and it's actually fairly heavy stuff. So I might just leave that here. Resist poison. I wonder if I could pull off a restore health. That would be a cool little thing. I have some scuttle here. Currently failing almost all of the potions. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull off a restore health potion quite yet. Hound meat. Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is, because we have this wooden barrel here, which currently holds our moon sugar, which we can eventually actually. Ajira had some extra money, so we're going to go and sell him, her, I think that's a her, all of the rest of the moon sugar that we have. Can you please get out of my way? I have very important dealings to deal with. So you do accept moon sugar. Indeed you do. So I'm going to get all of your money. By the way, Ajira, do you happen to know where Margan is? Because I have no idea. Apparently you have no idea what Margan is. That is a little bit... I don't need it, I just told it to you. But yeah, I'm going to drop off my mortar and pestle, because I don't think I'm going to actually use that much. Like, I don't think I'm going to use them that much on my adventures. I have been using them to improve my alchemy skill, but I don't exactly think that it's required when I go just simply looting. So I think I'm going to keep this as my sort of my secret barrel where I'm going to keep all of my stuff. And I'm actually going to drop the audio levels just slightly, because while the music is good, it is sort of blasting in my ears right now. So sure, I'm going to deal with your problem. But first I need to figure out where Margan actually is, so I need to find someone who knows something about Margan. So let's go ask around. Maybe someone will know. Hello there, do you know where Margan is? This seems a little bit annoying. At least in...
You're on your honor.
Yeah, I don't care. Margan. Where would I find Margan? I don't actually remember if I ever did this particular quest, and these instructions are really vague. I remember Margan being some sort of a... I'm not entirely sure, but I think Margan is actually a settlement. So let me figure out if I can travel there by the Silt Strider. Because that might actually be the case. And that allows me to find more locations. And currently this area, well, the sort of northern part of Balmora hasn't really been explored, and I should really explore this area. But I also haven't seen any of the other areas. Currently I have only visited this corner of the world. So gonna travel to there's Ald'Ruhn, Sran. None of that is exactly what I want. Though, do you know anything about the Silt Strider? Oh yes. So there are Silt Striders to Margan. But I just don't know which Silt Strider actually, well, which city has the connection to Margan. But I'm pretty sure, because I happen to know that Ald'Ruhn is sort of in the middle of this nonsense. So let's go to Ald'Ruhn, and I might be able to get myself a ride from Ald'Ruhn to Margan. Indeed I can. But let's first visit Ald'Ruhn. And I have a fairly decent reason for this. So currently we are, yeah, sort of in the middle of the whole place. This is I think the great mountain somewhere there. Currently, obviously we cannot see it because we don't have like distant terrain like implemented in the engine. I hope that they fix that soon. But yeah, Ald'Ruhn actually has a Mages Guild. And it's actually right around here. And we also have this fellow here. So I'm going to talk to Louise Beauchamp, or something like that. Yes, hello, hello, hello. So you have lost... Well, this guy has basically lost his airship. So let's talk about the airship. So levitation spells used to create this sort of an airship. And their task was to fly up north to Solstheim and locate Hrothmund's burrow. So what about the Hrothmund's burrow then? It is said to lie that the barrow is at the Eye of the Wolf. There's the formation you see, rock eyes, that sort of thing. Shaped like a wolf, the wolf that killed Hrothmund. It's said to tombed at the Wolf's Eye. So yes, we need to go... well, they were about to recover an amulet at Hrothmund's burrow. And yes, basically this is just an awkward guy that is trying to find an amulet to basically improve his charisma, because he is awkward. And yes, basically that's the whole thing here. So an amulet of infectious charm, and was buried with him, but the crew failed. So yeah, basically the airship is gone. We need to figure out what has happened to the airship. So our task is to obviously find what happened to the airship, some proof, and the amulet. Well, sure, I can head to Solstheim, because we're going to go to Solstheim eventually anyway, because Solstheim has a lot of tombs, and tombs are always useful for amulets, kind of like this one. So yes, we are going to go there most definitely, but that gives me the quest, which means that I can go there and look for the airship. Well, the airship is there, we can find it without the quest, and we could even probably turn in the quest afterwards. Also, I'm going to check if you have anything here. Yes, you do! You have magic potions, which is exactly what I want. There's also the Spirit of Daedra. I'm just going to go through this quickly. Yeah, not really all that interesting. There's also a Divine Intervention, which I do like, and one Almsivi Intervention. There's also Invocations of Azura. Yes. So I'm going to pick up those because they are worth something. And it's not like these guys really need them. Hello there. What services are there? These are just the generic services of Ald'Ruhn. Do you sell any spells? The Black Hand. So these are... yeah, these look like offensive spells. There's also some like Night Eye, which is actually somewhat useful in some circumstances. Detect Key. Detect Creature. Slow Fall. Telekinesis can actually be used to unlock doors from a distance, and Paralyze is decent actually. Paralyze for 5 seconds basically gives us 5 seconds of hitting someone for free if we can pull off the paralysis. So yes, that would actually be somewhat useful. It is on touch, so it's a little bit tricky potentially. But yeah, I'm going to get myself some additional spells because spells are always good. None of these are actually like, well, there are just a couple of destruction spells here, but none of these are really like really super destructive, like Hex and Black Hand. I mean, Black Hand does health damage and poison, but it's only for 1 second and it's on touch. So, not really all that interesting. What do? You seem to also be selling spells. Oh, these are interesting. So, these are the bound spells here. So we can basically summon ourselves a weapon. And it's going to be with us for X amount of time, and that's actually fairly interesting. It can be like, obviously you don't get the weapon forever, it's for just a while. But it can be fairly cool. There's also Greater Fireball, which is 2 to 40 points of damage, fire damage, for 1 second on 10 in 10 feet. So it's basically a remote. Well, it is a thrown fireball basically. Then there is the Greater Shock Ball from 2 to 40 points of shock damage. Same spells basically, all of these. Frost Ball, Fireball, Shock Ball. For some reason Shock Ball is, it costs more even though it technically does the same amount of damage, but I think it's because there's less shock resistant around. Like, not... Obviously fire creatures are more resistant to fireballs and ice creatures are more resistant to frost balls. For example, because I play a Nord, it actually means that I take less frost damage by default. So I guess a shock ball is then something that not everything has a resistance to. I'm actually going to take that. Because I have a lot of money, so I might as well. I can also bound boots. I don't really need that. There isn't anything that is for longer blades here, so it's not exactly something I'm too keen on.
What do you want?
Nothing at the moment, thank you very much. If I had like a bound long sword or something like that, then that might be interesting, even though I'm not generally all that keen on bound weaponry. Because bound is only temporary, and sometimes it just fades away when you are in the middle of a fight. Hello there, do you have anything interesting? I might take any Magica potions if you have any. Restore intelligence. Standard restore Magica, that's something I want, thank you very much. Standard disease resistance, poison resistance, cures. I'm not really sure I need any of this stuff. Restore fatigue, not really my thing. Yeah, thank you for that. Also, I think this person here is the Mages Guild, sort of leader of Ald'Ruhn. So, do you have any duties for me? So, there is a copy of a Dwarven book called The Chronicles of Lluleft. Sure, I'm going to fetch one. So this is a rare tome that we can actually find, and it is possible to run into it by random, I think. I currently don't have it, but we can check the bookstores, and I think there are a couple of bookstores that most definitely have it, and it sometimes appears elsewhere. It can also be found in... dungeons, I believe. So this person is obsessed with Dwarven technology and Dwarven literature and stuff like that. So basically everything in Ald'Ruhn's Mages Guild is about like Dwarven something something. So you end up running into various Dwarven locations. And this is actually what I think we're going to do after we're done with Balmora, because eventually Balmora is going to run out of duties, and this is, I think, just a shrine. Don't care about the shrine, don't care about the gods too much. I don't want to play games with the gods. I already have godly magic powers, so I don't really need, you know, random stuff. Also, I should definitely check out all books now. And here's the charter again. We've already read that, I think. And there's nothing else in the supply chest.
Shouldn't be here.
I most definitely should. I'm about to help you. Well, not really, but we're eventually going to help you, so shut your mouth. I also still have a fair amount of money, I think. Yeah, 2,600. I'm going to go and check if the local armorer has anything. That's the console club. Don't care about that. That's just a bunch of snobs. And then there's the inn. Obviously there's an inn. There's always an inn. And I think some of these actually do specialize. There's a bookseller. Maybe we should check, because you know, maybe they will sell the book that I want.
For a tavern. I'm sure I can't help you. What was that?
Well, I don't really care about, you know, taverns. I actually care about this dwarven book that apparently no one has. Where is the...
Nod.
You're just a veteran guard, but where is the actual bookseller? Or did I miss him?
Nod.
Here he is. So do you happen to have a very specific book that this one guy really wants? This guy probably doesn't have it, but you know, it's always worth checking. Just some history, some guides, origins of the Mages Guild. Well, that would be interesting to read. It's not what I'm looking for, but I do have a couple of random books that I can sell to you. These are books that I just stole from the neighbor, which is obviously the Mages Guild, so you can have those. It's also possible. Well, I don't think there is anything on the shelves that is isn't being sold, except for the items that I have, obviously, like that I have sold, because those don't actually appear on the shelves. Here's a pawnbroker. I'm going to actually go and look for, I think this is the armorer. Yeah, here's a smith. So this is like a generic.
My
You
time
apparently
is
sell your.
short, so make it quick.
You apparently sell your wares on the outside, not inside. Iron longsword, a steel saber. So how good is my current Nordic broadsword? So it's basically the best that it can do is 6 to 18. And none of this actually can match. Well, I mean the steel saber is 5 to 20 and then 4 to 18. So it's maybe potentially slightly better, but it can also be slightly worse. So it's not that great. And I also have a bunch of this Armon on bone mold stuff. And I think you sell mostly the same stuff. You also sell a bone mold shield, which is exactly the same as the one I have. But I think some of my stuff is slightly better. Yeah, this is not like that much better, so I don't really care about that. I'm probably going to end up finding better stuff if I just explore the dungeons. Also, I might have just jumped into a pit.